Good evening. This is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel as I continue my part series, The Week That Was College Football History Review, the 1981 college football season. We're going to get into week number 8. The games are played on October 24th, 1981. We're going to start with number 1 Penn State beating West Virginia 30-7. As newly anointed number 1 Penn State looked the part, especially in the second half when they outscored West Virginia 20-0. While offense adjusted to the absence of tight tailback Kurt Warner, who had a pulled hamstring, the Nittany Lions defense of Penn State sparkled in holding Mountaineers rushes to 38 yards, containing damage done by quarterback Oliver Luck. Penn State offense eventually came around as sophomore tailback John Williams rushed for 140 yards and a touchdown. In sub-row, West Virginia, meanwhile, had tied the game at 7-7 second quarter on a 54-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Rich Hollins from Luck, who set school records for career pass completions and touchdown passes. Next, Maryland beat Duke 24-21. Clemson, the number 4 team in the country, defeated North Carolina State 17-7. Wolfpack converted early fumble into a 7-0 lead against number 4 Clemson. That scored running back Lamont Lawson's 13-yard run represented first rushing touchdown to be allowed by Tigers defense so far this season. As game wore on, the Tigers dominated to prompt their taken 10-7 halftime lead on a 39-yard field goal by kicker Donald Ekwebuke. A 1-yard touchdown run by tailback Cliff Alston that came with only 13 seconds left in the second quarter. NC State sharp in the first quarter with 100 yards of offense and 7 first downs was held without another first down for a 35-minute stretch in the middle of the game. Clemson failed to pull away because of 5 turnovers, which hindered attack that amounts to 304 yards rushing. Clemson linebacker Jeff Davis paced defense, participated in 19 tackles. Next, South Carolina. South Carolina beat North Carolina, number 3 team in the country, 31-13. North Carolina's numerous injuries finally took the toll as Gamecocks convincingly won Battle of Carolinas. Starting without injured running backs like Kelvin Bryant and Tyrone Anthony, a defensive leader, linebacker Darrell Nicholson, was bad enough, but Tar Heels lost quarterback Rod Elkins to ankle injury in the first quarter. New North Carolina faces translated to committing 5 turnovers to none for Gamecocks by a Heels team that made only 8 to date. South Carolina quarterback Gordon Beckham was perfect in the first half, completing 11 for 11 passes with touchdown. Tailback Johnny Wright added 115 yards rushing, while freshman linebacker James C. Wright sparkled with 12 unassisted tackles and interception. Tar Heels had to get tricky to break 70-yard touchdown on a run by punter Jeff Hayes. Minnesota beat number 6 Iowa by a score of 12-10. Premature Rose Bowl talk for Iowa was put on hold as Minnesota kicker Jim Gallery's 4 field goals, including a 52-yard boot, proved to be different. Gallery's final full field goal success from 27 yards out with 2:22 remaining. 1 game for Gophers. Behind throwing of quarterback Mike Hohensee, Minnesota led 9-0 at halftime as its defense held Iowa to 45-yard total offense and pair of first downs. Hawkeyes quickly scored 10 points in the third quarter with a touchdown from tailback Paul Blatcher on a 2-yard run, but could then only threaten to stretch some lead until Gallery ended it. Iowa kicker Tom Nickel, who hit 34-yard effort earlier, missed 2 late attempts. Most predictable of all collegiate leagues recently, Ben 10 boasts of 9 teams still in the hunt for title. The fans clearly were enjoying newfound parity. All 5 conference games on this Saturday were sold out. Next, Illinois beat Wisconsin 23-21. Illinois quarterback Tony Eason dazzled with 3 touchdowns, including 86 yards, scoring hookup second quarter with wide receiver Oliver Williams that gave Illinois lead for good at 10-7. On that big play, Badgers cornerback Von Mansfield and safety Matt Vanderboom collided going for the ball, leaving Williams alone at Badgers' 45-yard line. Eason was perhaps at best on a 5-yard pass later in the same quarter, converting fourth down with touchdown toss to running back Darrell Smith as Illinois ignored a chance for chip shot field goal. Smith later caught 16-yard touchdown pass in third quarter for eventual winning points. Wisconsin quarterback Jess Cole threw for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns, but lost 2 crucial second half turnovers as Easton had now had top 300 yards for all 5 Big Ten games he has started, tying conference record. Next, Southern California. The number 5 team in the country beat Notre Dame 14-7. The Fighting Irish nearly pulled the upset, but that relative containment of Trojans' tailback Marcus Allen was used against them. Overzealous Notre Dame defense that held Allen to 147 yards, his lowest rushing output of the year, was fooled on fourth quarter counter play that fullback Todd Spencer took to winning 26-yard touchdown run. Notre Dame, meanwhile, had tied the game at 7-7 at third quarter on a 5-yard run by tailback Phil Carter, game's leading rusher with 161 yards, but blew other opportunities as halfback Harry Oliver missed field goal attempts of 20 and 24 yards. Also, each of Notre Dame's last 2 drives was stopped on 4th and 1. Carter's run to USC 33-yard line, quarterback Blake Carroll was fumbled at his 25-yard line. It's 11 ticks on the clock. Both touchdown drives for Southern California featured big plays. Quarterback John McMazur's 24-yard dash was a big part of a 69-yard trip to Allen's 14-yard touchdown run, and Allen's 21-yard jaunt led to Spencer's game-winning gallop. Next, Nebraska. The number 15 team in the country beat number 19 Missouri 6-0. Big 8 hadn't even seen a scoreless impasse since Oklahoma State tied Air Force in 1967. This scoreless struggle was knotted until last series by Nebraska. Once cornerback Turner Gill hit 3 passes in a row that ended with fullback Phil Bates scoring from 3-yard line with 23 seconds left. Gill's throws included 24-yard spray to wide receiver Todd Brown when Huskers faced 3rd and 10 from midfield. Missouri defense did fairly well against prolific Nebraska running attack, holding it to 222 yards that was led by I-back Roger Craig's 94 yards. Tigers netted only 85 yards on the ground thanks in large part to 10 sacks by Nebraska defense. Huskers kicker Kevin Siebel had a rough day and stiff wind. He missed extra point, 3 field goals, including 16 yards, 3-point try into strong Zephyr. Halfback Bobby Meyer placed Tigers offense with 87 yards rushing, 4 catches for 38 yards receiving. Next, Texas, the number 10 team in the country, beat number 8 Southern Methodist 9-7. SMU entered key Southwest Conference contest scoring 39 points per game, but became all too familiar with defensive tackle Kenneth Sims, who had 15 tackles, 4 sacks. His friends on Longhorns defense. Texas, meanwhile, dominated line scrimmage to hold tailback Eric Dickerson to 18 carries for 33 yards, 2 lost fumbles, and quarterback Lance McElhenney to 5 for 15 passing with 2 interceptions. Texas offense was not a whole lot better. Gaining 177 yards rushing, but managing 3 field goals by kicker Raul Alegre, including 52-yard effort. Now, Pierre Alegre's field goals followed fumbles by Dickerson. Horns punter John Goodson also excelled, blowing 3 punts more than 50 yards to significantly influence field position. Texas became 7th school in the college history to reach 600 victories. Next, Houston. Houston defeated number 12 Arkansas 20-17. Now, Cougars scrambled for Southwest Conference race by scoring game's final 13 points. Decision making came on kicker Mike Clendenon's 17-yard field goal with 5:16 left to play. Arkansas quarterback Bill Pierce entered the game in the first half after quarterback Tom Jones strained. His knee. Pierce suffered interception by Houston quarterback Butch LaCroix to poise McClendon's for a winning field goal. When he was there, Jones had led Arkansas in scoring drives, capped with 10 touchdowns off 17 yards to running back Gary Anderson, 3 yards to wide receiver John Missler. Houston quarterback Lionel Wilson threw for 141 yards, a touchdown, rushed for 87 yards, and a touchdown. Arkansas continued to have never beaten both Texas and Houston in the same season. Finally, Wyoming. Brigham Young, the number 13 team in the country, lost to Wyoming 33-20 as the Cowboys ran roughshod over BYU and Rockies. Snowstorm totaling 350 yards on the ground, more than 3 times the amount averaged against Cougars defense. Quarterback Phil Davis rushed for 140 yards, including touchdown runs of 28, 30, and 32 yards. And team with wide receiver James Williams on an 81-yard scoring pass that gave Wyoming its first lead at 21-14. But BYU had scored games opening 2 touchdowns behind quarterback Jim McMahon, who set 3 more NCAA records to push count to 41 in his illustrious career. Taking to running ball, Cowboys next reeled off 5 straight touchdowns. 5 straight touchdowns. The Cowboys of Wyoming reeled it off, 5 straight touchdowns. So that includes a look at college football history review, the 1981 college football season. Week number 8, the games are played on October 24th, 1981. Let's get into the AP polls. October 26th. Arkansas was number 20, 19 Oklahoma, 18 Washington, 17 Florida State, 16 Iowa, 15 Michigan, 14 Washington State, 13 Southern Methodist, 12 Nebraska, 11 Iowa State. Top 10 rounded out as this: number 10 Arizona State, 9 North Carolina, 8 Alabama, 7 Mississippi State, 6 Texas, 5 Georgia, 4 Southern California, 3 Clemson, 2 Pittsburgh, and number 1 Penn State. Penn State was number 1. So that includes a look at the top 20 AP poll for October 26th, and overall, week number 8, the games are played on October 24th, 1981. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the channel. I'll do this Swag 2 tomorrow, week 9. The games are played on October 31st, 1981. Please like, subscribe, comment on the channel. Until then, talk to you soon.